Hello everyone, welcome to another video tutorial. Today we are going to discuss React Reducer with an example. And the example is, if you see this screen, it says famous cities of the world. And here is a text field, and then we have a button which says add. So we type this famous city name and add, and it will add into the list. And we are going to do this by using reducers. Now, what is the reducer? Reducer is just a function which take a state, initial state, and then also take some action and applies that action to the state and returns the new state. That's it. Okay, so let's dive in the code. As I said, it's a function. So let's create a function which is reducer. And as I said, it takes initial state and action and it applies that action on the state, and then it it returns a new state. If you see our UI, it's very simple. It shows name of the famous cities, so that means it will be an array of strings like this: London, Paris, etc. So that's it. And initial state will be an empty array. That's it. So this state will be an array of the string. However, the action is an object which has two things in it. It's an object, so it's like this, which has a type, which is some kind of a string we pass, and then it has payload, which can be again anything, but in our case it will be name of the city. So it's gonna be string. Let's say London, and one action in our case, if you see our UI, it says add, so it means it will be some add city. So in our case, the action object will look like this. So let's go now. What we say, we switch over action.type, and then we have one action which is add city, and payload in our case, as I said, will be city name. So we have the current state. So and very first time it will be empty, and then we will add one, and then another one, and another one. So what we want to do is just return current state and the new object. That's it. And we maybe need to have a default case, and in that case we just return the state. This is the reducer, which has one action, add city, and then it returns the new state. Basically, the concept is it applies a action on a state and returns the new state, and state is immutable. How are we going to use this function now? It's very easy. First thing, we need to use reducer from the React, and here we need to use it, and we can do that like this. I will explain these two in a minute. So use reducer is a function which is provided in React library. It takes the reducer as the first argument, and then it takes your initial state, which in our case will be empty state, and it returns two things: number one, state, and number two, the dispatch. State is at the moment this one, so whatever is like object we are going to list. In our case it will be list of the cities. We cannot change state directly, so we need to send it through this function, this one. So for that we got this dispatch. So this is the function which actually we need to call when we are going to make any change. Here on press of the button, I will call the dispatch method, and I will pass the action object, and that action object will have like two things: number one, type, which is add city in our case, and then the payload, which is in our case is city name. That's it. So if you see here, this is just a flat list which is showing the state, which is in our case is the name of the city. So now if we save, and if I'll write, let's say London, and try to add, you see it appears there. This is how easy React Reducer is. Basically just a function which applies an action on a state and returns a new state. Please do like, comment, and share. Thank you very much. We'll see you again with another video tutorial.